Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Let's Code Duke Nukem, where we aim to recreate the original EGA action platformer, released in 1991. In this episode, we will implement one of the more dangerous enemies in Dr. Proton's techbot army, the jumping techbot. Now, this guy takes multiple shots to kill, he jumps around, making it more likely to hurt Duke on contact while simultaneously being harder to hit. It also shoots back at Duke, making this the most aggressive enemy we have encountered so far. Alright, so we have a lot of ground to cover in this episode, so let's get right into it. We are back at the Duke 1 level format page, and let's take a look at the tile codes for the 2x2 jumping robot, and here it is. So the tile index is tile number 10, is going to be the first tile in anim 0, and the code is going to be 3000C, alright? So let's start in our active factory, and let's add in code 3000C, and yeah, let's do that here, case C. And this guy looks kind of like ED-209 from the RoboCop franchise, so that's what I'm going to call the class. And it should be in the enemies package. Alright. So super XY, we'll have some update method, we'll have some render method. Okay, so let's take a look at the graphics here. So let's go to our resource loader and let's print out the anim file. Read anim. Let's take a look what we're working with here. Alright, looks like he starts out facing to the left. Two different standing tile sets. One is the normal, and this is when he's shooting. There's a recoil here. And then there's a jumping. Looks like those are 6 tiles for a single frame. So 2 by 3, I guess. And then we're facing to the right. Alright. So that means that we have some sort of a facing. And the default facing is left. And we'll just do a super.update for now. And here in the render method, and that means that we need to draw a tile, assets get anim 10. So let's resolve some sort of a tile index. And then we have X and we have Y, and then it's 2 by 2, so that's 4 total, kind of like Duke. And then here we'll do the top right tile. And the bottom left tile, and then this is the bottom right tile. Okay. Yeah, so this is when he's facing to the left, so let's also make sure that facing to the right also works. So let's just do facing is left, and it's tile index 10, otherwise it's 22. Alright, so this should render the enemy in the spot. Let's make him look at us as well. So the way that we do that is we'll just check how his X position compares to Duke. Let's see, so his X plus 8, because he has a pretty wide hitbox. If that's smaller than Duke's X, then his facing should be left. And otherwise it should be right, so I guess we can also use a ternary instruction here. Left, right. And we'll put this in parentheses. Okay. So let's fire up the game and walk over to the robot and yeah, see if he's standing there waiting for us. Alright, he is. We flipped over the facing. So if his X is less than Duke's X, then that means he should face right, of course. And we saw that he's clipping in the floor because we did not set his hitbox correctly. So his width is 2 times the tile size minus 1. And the same goes for his height. Okay, so he's there, he's going to look at us. So I think what we should do is we should start to make him jump. Now how the jumping works is we're going to do basically the same as Duke. So we're going to override the apply gravity function, and here we do something with jump frames left, etc. And he's jumping at regular intervals, so we'll keep a timer here. And then what we'll do is that the here in the update method, if the timer is exactly 0, then we'll make him jump. So let's see, then we'll set jump frames left to 9, I guess. We'll set a velocity, -32, so that he will jump up, up and away. So let's keep track of the jump frames here. And we need to increment the timer. And let's make him do a jump every, I don't know, 3 seconds or something. So that's 16 times 3, that's like what, 48? We'll change this value later. Okay, so this gives him a velocity and a jump frames. So in apply gravity, we can say that if jump frames left is larger than 0, otherwise we'll apply gravity. So velocity y is, let's do a tile size worth of gravity each frame if he's not jumping. Here we'll halve his velocity every frame. So that means that we'll eventually have some hang time here. And for the last 2 jump frames, let's increment velocity again so that he will start going down. So he will go down for 2 frames and then gravity will take over. Okay. So yeah, I think this should make him jump. So yeah, let's see if he's actually jumping. So if the jumping is working, then the next step is fixing the correct graphic and giving him some horizontal motion as well, so that he'll actually be able to jump towards us. Alright, so he's up in the air because we forgot to decrement the jump frames. So let's do that here. So that means gravity never gets the chance to take over, because the jump frames always start at 9, stay at 9, did not decrement, so yeah, floating robots. There we go, he's trying to jump. It looks kind of silly, but he's doing it. Okay, so let's change the graphic when he's jumping. So for that I think we need to keep some state, kind of like for Duke. So let's have a standing state. And let's have a shoot state. And let's have a jump state. And I guess we can kind of like have the same as Duke as well, with a fall state when he's going down. So when he's jumping upward, here, let's set the state. This state is jump. And let's keep track of the state as well. Private state, state. And I guess our default state is going to be standing. Okay, so override the state to jump, and then go up, and then do a super.update. Alright, and then in apply gravity, what we can do is we can check before we do stuff to the velocity. If our velocity y is larger than 0, then that means that we're falling. So let's set the state to falling as well. Alright, and then that means that we can start changing the rendering of the tiles here a bit. Because like I said, the jumping and falling state is going to have 2 by 3 tiles of graphics. So if our state is jump or state is fall, then we want to render a different set of graphics than what we would usually do. Alright, So here we go. Tile index for just regular standing is this. And for the jumping stuff, tile index is going to be, in case of left facing, it's going to be 16. And otherwise plus 12, 28. And then let's draw the top row first. So let's go with tile index and then X, and then we need to subtract the tile size from Y because our Y origin is centered around the 2x2 graphics. So this is going to be a 2x3. So we need to subtract tile size from that. So this is the top left tile, and this is going to be the top right tile, and then this is going to be the middle tile to the left and the middle tile to the right. 1, 2, 3, and then we'll have the bottom tile plus the tile size and the bottom tile on the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, so 6 frames total. Okay, so this should give this guy a better jumping graphics. Now we want to go from a fall state to a standing state, and we'll do that in the landing function. So here we can say that if this state is a jump or a fall, we want to go back to a standing state. State.fall. Come on. There we go. Alright, so now I expect this guy to have nicer graphics when jumping. So let's see if that is the case. Yeah, there we go. Alright, that's on the left side facing, and then to the right. Yeah, that's looking good. Okay, so now let's give him a horizontal movement when he's jumping. So let's see here. Right before the update, of course. So if the state, if he's actually jumping, then let's just give him some sort of a velocity x. So let's see, velocity x equals, and then if he's facing to the left, we need to have some negative number that he's going to the left, otherwise a positive number that he's going to go to the right. Okay, so this will make him jump to us in an arc. So that's pretty cool. Velocity y, I need to do velocity x. That is a big typo on my end. Okay, let's head over again. There we go, he's already traveling. All right. Yeah, I think this is pretty cool. He's able to follow me around. All right. So yeah, next thing we need to do is make him shoot. So we already added the shoot state here. Now shooting is going to change the graphics in the bottom row of the standing animation here. So we'll do that right now. So let's see, int, let's give him like some legs index or something, and then we'll take the tile index, and then we'll check if the state is a shoot, and we want to draw the recoil graphics. So we want to add 4 or 2. And then here we want to say a legs index plus nothing. I guess just legs index, and then legs index plus 1. And then this will draw the recoil animation. Now we need to go from shoot back to state, otherwise it will stay in the recoil. So we'll do that right before the jump here. Here we can basically say like else if this dot, oh no wait, here if this dot state equals a shoot, then we want to go back into the standing state. And we want to probably spawn a bullet. I guess we'll do that right now. State.spawn new shot xy, and then to do fix position is something we probably need to do in just a second. And we probably need a facing as well to tell the shot which way to go. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so this will make him actually shoot. So that's pretty cool. Of course, we need to go into the shoot. So what the behavior is that first he shoots and then he jumps. So let's say that we have private static final int shoot. Like let's say the timer starts 10 frames afterwards he shoots, and then jump is like another 10 frames after that maybe. And what we should do here, that says that if the timer is equal to jump, and here we can say if the timer is equal to shoot. So now it's time to shoot. Then what we will do, else if, and here we can just say this dot state is shoot. Yeah, that's it. So he's gonna switch over his state to the shooting state. Next update, he'll spawn the shot. That's proper behavior, I think. Now the timer resets on a fixed rate, but let's make the timer reset when we land on the floor. So basically, when he lands, he's gonna orient and reset the timer to shoot after 10 frames. Okay, let's see. I expect the recoil graphic to show and a bullet to spawn when this guy is shooting. So maybe now for testing purposes I should make Duke invincible, because we might die now. There we go, he shoots and he jumps and he shoots. Okay. Alright, so let's do some refinements here. So the shot needs to spawn, let's see here, it needs to spawn like 10 pixels down. And the X into shot X is depending on the facing. So if the facing is left, then it probably needs to be like X minus 16 tile size, I mean, to the left of this robot. And otherwise it probably has to be X plus the width to the right of the robot. Something like that. Okay, that's the jumping, that's the shooting. Let's make him hurt Duke as well. So that if after updating this guy collides with Duke, then we'll say hurt. Let's assign Duke, because that's 3 times is the charm. Okay, and then all that's left for us to do is to actually be able to shoot this guy. So this guy takes 3 hits to kill, and he'll start smoking after 1 hit, more smoke after 2 hits, and then he'll explode in a flurry of particles and sparks. Alright, so I think that bullet spawns pretty nice. Yep. Looking good. Let's see if he hurts us when we touch him. I guess so. So that's looking good. Okay, so yeah, let's shoot this guy. So here can be shot should be true, and let's just implement the the hit function, and then here we'll decrement the health. So let's make that a new field type integer. All right, so we have a health of 3, and then here we can say if health is exactly 0. Then we'll increase score by 2000 points and set this guy to false. And then here, add effects. We'll take a look at that in just a second. So let's make this guy smoke. So after updating and after hurting Duke, so now we have the correct position. So let's say if our health, let's see, state, add effect, new smoke, X and Y. So this should be if health is less than 3. And then if the health is less than 2, we need to add another smoke effect. And this should be over to the right. So now he'll start smoking at the top of the dome. One puff with one shot, two puffs with two shots. Okay, and then, yeah. So what I did is I recorded a little segment here of the gameplay where we killed this guy in the original game. So let's see. All right, so here we got the explosion when he dies. So here you can see 4 sparks in a, packed pretty tightly. 2 in the middle, and then 2 over to the right. So let's first do those sparks. All right, so when he dies, here, add effect, new spark, and then we got x plus 8y, x plus 8 while plus the tile size. So these are these two, and then we probably have x plus the tile size here, yeah, and then y plus 8. So that's this guy here, and then like this. So that's 4 sparks in a nice pattern. And then we'll also spawn a bunch of particles. So let's see, that is 3 sets of particles. So particles, create, state, x, y, 1, 2, 3. And then let's see, we have one just on the XY position, so that's fine. And then we got one on the basically bottom right. So we'll do, that's this guy here. And then we also have one that is more in the middle, and then one up. So that's plus 8 here, minus the tile size there. All right, so let's go over to Duke, and then let's make him invincible, that his health never decreases. So, yeah, and this should blow up this robot after a couple of shots. So let's take a look. All right, so he is already smoking, so yeah, I don't think I've actually set the health to 3, which is a bad thing. Health is 3. So, yep. Initializing your variables is always something that's so easy to forget. It's crazy. All right. So that's one. And he's smoking every frame, so that's a bit too much. So let's make him smoke every like 4 frames or something. And then now a second set of smoke is going to come in. And let's kill him. And there we go. Look pretty nice. Okay, so let's see here. We'll do a check, I guess, if the timer %4 is exactly 0. Then we'll do all the health checks with the smoke. All right, so that about implements that enemy. Now let's take one more look. Sometimes when you kill this guy, a piece of debris spawns as well, like a big gray, rock or metal plates, or I'm not sure what it is. So I think what we'll do is we'll take a few minutes to implement that effect as well. So let's shoot it once. There we go. He's smoking. Shoot it twice. He's smoking again. I think the smoke should spawn a couple of pixels up as well. And then let's kill it. And yeah, looking good. Now the pattern in which these guys spawn here might differ a bit depending on the direction that he's facing. But I'm liking it so far. Yeah, so let's go into the anim PNG. And I think it is here somewhere. Yeah, I'm talking about this big old rock, like concrete or whatever it is. So these are sets of 2 frames each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames. So let's just make this a new effect. Let's call it debris. And let's make this sometimes spawn when you kill the certain types of enemies and certain types of objects. Okay, so let's create a constructor. And let's see, the tile index is a couple of frames to the right of the wall crawler. So let's take a look at the wall crawler. Wall crawler is 144. So that's this guy here, 144, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 51, 52. So the tile index is 152. The time to live is, I don't know, let's do 1 second, 16 frames for now. And let's see, this guy needs to fall down, so let's just give him some sort of a velocity y. I guess we do the same with the sparks, right? Where are the sparks? I mean the particles. Yeah, we also just give them velocities. Okay, yeah, that's fine then. Velocity y. And we'll initialize it to 0. And then here in the render function, let's say tile index was 152. And then we need to add in the frame. And then we want to multiply by 2 because this guy is drawn in sets of 2 frames each. So let's put this in parentheses. There we go. And then let's draw both tiles. So draw tiles, assets, get anim tile index x, y. X plus the tile size y. Index plus 1. And then let's increment the frame. And then if the frame is larger than 4, increase the velocity and adjust the y position so that this guy will start dropping down. All right, now let's add the debris when we kill a box. I guess there's a lot more boxes in the game. So state add effect new debris x y. This isn't normal, but just for testing purposes, let's see what happens here. All right, so there you can see the gray debris thing dropping down. Maybe I should give some upwards velocity rather than just having this guy hang midair for 1/4 of a second. That might be nicer. So let's see, debris here. Let's give him a -2 velocity y. And let's not do this whole frame shenanigans. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. So it's kind of hard to see. But yeah, I like this. All right. Yeah, so I think that wraps it up for this episode. So what we'll do is we'll go to ED-209 and we'll say here that if the frame that we're currently at, if that's an even frame, then we'll add a debris effect so we don't see it all the time, but we see it sometimes. Let's remove the debris effect from the shooting the box here. And let's head over to our enemy one more time to take a closer look at him, and we can start making a conclusion to the episode. So yeah, while I'm walking over there, I want to thank you very much for joining me. This has been easily one of the most challenging enemies we've implemented so far. But yeah, we managed to do it, so that's pretty cool. Now there might be a lot of tweaks we can do. Like I said, the direction in which stuff, like all the effects should spawn, depending on the facing that this guy is doing, is definitely something we can do. It just adds a lot more if statements to the code where these things spawn, so it's not super exciting. Alright, so let's kill him. And there we see a debris falling down, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me. If you have any questions, then feel free to put them in the comments down below. And yeah, if you like the series, then hopefully you can drop a like and a subscribe. Now, next episode, we will be heading over to the ending of the level. So there's the blue reactor that spins around. And we'll take some time to implement that guy, because that also has a elaborate death animation when you destroy the reactor. To me, here we can see the spot where the reactor needs to go. So yeah, we'll implement this guy next episode. So hopefully you can join me for that one. For now, thanks again and see you guys next time. Bye bye.